What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. It is time for the Week 37 Premier League predictions. I want to give a shout out to the new members that have joined the Members Club since the last episode. We have Darag Smith, Sick Flow, Mr. Nice Guy, Josh Balcote, Nana Debonair, Rezo TV Shufi Mafi. Thank you all of you for supporting the channel. I really do appreciate it. If you want to get more one-on-one contact with me and exclusive members tips and accumulators, then be sure to click the join button down below or the first link in the description. Now, there's a lot of games to go for this game week, so let's just get straight in. We have Tottenham up against Brentford. Tottenham, they really do need a win. Brentford don't necessarily need a win. I mean, they could finish on 59 points, which, you know, miraculously could see them finish as high as 6th, but it's just not going to happen. Ivan Toney is, of course, suspended until next year, the middle of January, due to the breaches that he made. So I think this is going to be a Tottenham win because that ban is with immediate effect, so he won't be playing. I don't believe he played against West Ham either, but I'm going for a Tottenham win, 2-1. My tip is Tottenham to win at 1.83. You could double that up with Harry Kane to score, because if Tottenham score twice, Harry Kane is probably going to be one of them. After that, it's Bournemouth up against Man United. Bournemouth safe from relegation. Man United chasing top 4. This is going to be one of their trickier games, actually, away from home, but I think they're going to get the job done away from home. I'm going to go for Man United to win 2-0. My tip, just Man United to win at around 1.5. I think they should have no problems here. And yeah, Bournemouth, they don't need to win because they've been picking up wins and losses and haven't drawn many games, which is very good for them. Man United and Bournemouth both drawing 6 games this season. Bournemouth doing enough to stay up. After that, it's Fulham up against Crystal Palace, and I don't know why. I think Fulham should win this one, and they are slight favourites, but I'm going to go for a 2-2. Both teams have nothing to play for, essentially, other than a bit of pride. I think that is going to lead to an open game with a lot of goals. I think both teams will score. So I'll go for 2-2, try and get a differential of predicting a draw, and my tip is going to be over 2.5 goals at 2. I think that could be quite likely. Mitrovic firing again, Fulham firing, Palace got a good win last time out. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw here. After that, it's Liverpool up against Aston Villa. Aston Villa have been doing a fantastic job this year, 2023. Ever since Unai Emery's come in, he's worked absolute miracles. But Liverpool, look at all these W's. They're chasing top 4 as well. I think they're going to get a win, and I'm going to go for a 3-1 win. The same scoreline that I predicted for Liverpool against Leicester, but I think Aston Villa will actually be able to score and offer something that Leicester couldn't when Liverpool breezed past them, winning that game 3-0. And obviously Aston Villa just beat Tottenham, which was a brilliant result that saw them level up on points. After this, Wolves up against Everton. This is a really difficult one to predict. Everton need the points more. I think if it was at Goodison Park, I would immediately say 1-0 Everton. You know what? I might just do that. I was going to say 1-1, but I'll give the win to Everton. I think they need it more. I originally had a 1-1 draw prediction, sorry. But you know what? I'll go 1-0 win to Everton because this is a very, very important game for them and winnable probably as far as Everton are concerned. So I'm going to go for that. My tip anyway would have happened for both is under 2.5 goals at 1.8. After this, it's Nottingham Forest up against Arsenal. This run of form here, seeing Arsenal basically all but lose the league. And I think they will obviously not win the league. However, I'm going to go for a win at this point. 2-0 to Arsenal. And my tip is Arsenal to win at 1.56 here. Pretty good value for a result that I think should happen. Obviously, Forest could get a result, but Arsenal, they've got to give the fans something. You know, it's been a rough couple of weeks, a rough month, really, basically throwing the league over to Manchester City, who look, as I've been saying for months, like they're going to win the treble. After that, we have West Ham up against Leeds United. This one going to be a very tricky one to predict as well. Leeds need the points, but unlike Everton, I think could get a number over on Wolves. I think West Ham are actually a little bit better than their league table position suggests. They do, however, have Europa Conference League tonight, so I expect they will go through against AZ Alkmaar, so maybe they'll be a little bit tired. This is a great opportunity for Leeds to get some points. I'm going to go for another 2-2 though. My tip is both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at 2.05. If Leeds are going to get a result that saves them from relegation, it's going to be this one, and I think I could see Leeds winning this, so my tip is not in the result market. After that, we have Brighton up against Southampton. Brighton absolutely dismantled Arsenal. Southampton are down and out. It's going to be a conclusive Brighton win. Brighton to win 3-0. My tip is Brighton to win by at least 2 goals. -1 handicap at 1.61. Southampton, it's been a long run in the Premier League, and that is over. Brighton are almost like the new Southampton. I remember when Southampton had some really good players, and they finished, I think, as high as 6th, which is actually where Brighton are now. So there are some similarities there. I think Brighton play better football than Southampton ever did, actually. Arguably some of the best football we've seen in the league. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 win to Brighton. After that, Man City up against Chelsea. If Man City win this game, they win the title, and they're going to do that, no problem. I'm going to go for 2-0. My tip is going to be Manchester City to win and under 3.5 goals at 2.1. I just think Chelsea are probably going to be not difficult to break down. I just don't see Man City going crazy because they don't actually have to. They just need to win the game to win the league. They've got the final. They'll probably rotate somewhat because they don't want injuries for the Champions League and FA Cup final that they've got to worry about more so than I would say the Premier League. So I think they'll win this regardless, but it won't be a mental game. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Man City. Man City to win in under 3.5 goals at 2.1. After that, it's Newcastle up against Leicester. This is going to be very difficult for Leicester. If only, as far as they were concerned, Newcastle were mid-table and didn't have a lot to play for. But Newcastle are odds-on favourites out of them and Man United to drop out of the top four, if anyone was to. Obviously, they're still favourites to get into the top four, and I think a win here would help them secure that. So they've got something to play for. I'll give Leicester a goal out of desperation because they got to score, but I think Newcastle win. So I'll go for a Newcastle win and both teams to score tip. After this one, Brighton up against Man City. This is going to be a very, very close game, and I think the league will have been won here by now, so it's very difficult to predict. I want to predict something for Brighton. I'm just going to predict a 2-1 win to Manchester City. My tip is Man City and both teams score at 3.25 because Brighton could definitely give them a game, could get something from it. But at the same time, it is just Manchester City. They've looked phenomenal. After that, Manchester United up against Chelsea. I'm going to go for a Man United win. I'm going 2-1. My tip is United to win at 1.6. I just think they need it more than Chelsea. Chelsea, their season's over, and Man City need to secure that top four spot. They've been playing better than Chelsea this season, and I think they can get the win at Old Trafford. I think at Stamford Bridge, I'd probably look towards a 1-1 draw. It might have even been a 1-1 draw earlier in the season at Stamford Bridge between the two teams, but I'm actually just going to shade it towards Manchester United in this one. So with those results, we would see Manchester City win the league. We would see Everton basically get away from the relegation zone, actually overtaking Nottingham Forest, probably securing their safety, because I don't know if Leeds are going to get anything from West Ham, and I expect Leicester to lose to Newcastle. So it's looking like Leicester, Leeds are going to join Southampton for relegation with my predictions as well. So that is going to do it for this week of Premier League predictions. If you did enjoy it, please do drop a like, subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and of course we'll do predictions going into the next season, a pre-season table prediction, which is always exciting to see, and I will see you for those videos very soon.